April 2nd, 2:33 PM, Zodiac Art Gallery, Fountain, Patio. Hello everyone, Triple S back with more Ace Investigations, Miles Edgeworth, Prosecutor's Path. Last time we found out that Miss Hall right there, she could pretty much have made the poison gas because apparently the recipe is in the Angel's recipe book thing and she has that, so she knows how to make the poison gas. So it's becoming pretty clear that she's probably the one who's done it. But anyway, this is the penultimate episode of this case, and deceptively it doesn't look that long, but this is a testimony thing that we're going to be doing, but we'll see, because we're going to have a chat with her and see what she says about, potentially trying to murder that guy. So, let's go. I have a report. We've detected traces of mammalian from the teapot. You can't be serious. It's just like Mr. Edgeworth said. Darn it! Did Mr. Edgeworth take the title of the best from me again? Mr. the Best, it seems like you have an obsession about being the best. But when you're on a case, winning and losing is of no importance. What are you saying? Obviously it's best to be the best at everything. If you can't understand that, then you have no business being a prosecutor. What? Please stop harassing Sebastian. Sebastian, a person of your caliber has no need to listen to such things. Justine! Yeah, you're right. Please leave this to me. Why don't you go check on the victim's condition? Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll be right back then. Alright, I'll be waiting. Judge Courtney is much more troublesome than Mr. the Best. Well then. Miss Curator, can you tell us why mammalian was discovered in the teapot? I was just aware that it contained such a chemical. I suppose it may have been an ingredient from the detergent I had used. So you're saying that you did not put it in deliberately? No, of course not. There's no way for me to have known how to create the poison gas. Despite being a former actress, it seems you're not very good at lying. What do you mean? The Angel's recipe is in your possession, and the method to create the poison gas is contained inside that recipe book. So you must have known how to create it. I'm surprised you knew about that. Miss Curator, is this true? It's true that information about the poison gas is contained in one of the recipes. However, just because I saw it does not mean that I was responsible for the crime. Could you tell me what set off the poison gas? It was caused by the victim heating the lid of the glass case with a burner. I see. If he locked himself in that room of his own will and then set off the poison gas, wouldn't that suggest suicide? Does she intend to deny it until the bitter end? Furthermore, I wouldn't have been able to obtain a chemical like Megatoxin X. That may be true, but you could have stolen it from someone else. That reminds me, I met up with Katie a week ago and that night was when I realised that my Megatoxin X was gone. Katie, you couldn't have. Madame Delicia always carries her medicine bag around with her. Always carried. Anyone could have stolen it. That's right. I don't have any proof that she was the one who stole it. Kate, can't you tell us what you're hiding? I know you're not the kind of person who would hurt someone without a reason. Monsieur Shields, you doubt me as well? Setting a trap on one of the gallery's exhibits, and then disguising the rooms? Just think it would have been impossible for anyone but the curator. That's not true. There are no guards or security cameras at this gallery. If any ill-intentioned person wanted to sneak into the gallery, it would have been an easy task for them. But then isn't it like an all-you-can-steal buffet in here? You have to be careful. You never know when a great thief could appear. It doesn't sound like a joke when Kay says it. Actually, Monsieur Gustavia apparently entered the gallery before it opened. Well, I'm beat. Looks like Uncle Ray can't do anything to break down Kate's iron guard. This might be a good time to use the technique your old man taught me. The technique? My father taught you? This case is deeply connected to the one from 18 years ago. If we just pursue the present case, it may seem like there is a lot we don't understand. But if we try turning things around, turnabout, there might be a hint in the case from the past. Thinking the other way around. Did my father do that too? For example, just consider the relationship between the past case and Kate. Miss Hall melted Mr. Dover's sherbet sculptures 18 years ago. And today Mr. Dover's works are on display in this gallery. It can't be she... I see. Now I know what to ask her. That's good to hear. In that case, Uncle Ray will just watch over you as you do your work. Miss Catherine Hall. 18 years ago, it seems that you melted Mr. Dover's sherbet sculptures. Yes, I was young and inexperienced, and I did something inexcusable. However, isn't that why you were able to open the Zodiac Art Gallery? I don't know what you mean. I don't understand either. Prosecutor Edgeworth, do you seek her testimony? Yes, I would like her to tell me about the Zodiac Art Gallery. I would like to know the reason you decided to open a gallery for Mr. Dover's artwork. If you insist that this is related to the case at hand, I will allow it. Miss Crater, your testimony if you please. Very well, if that will clear your suspicion about me. Now then, please testify about the Zodiac Art Gallery. Here we go. So far, my GPU fan hasn't started spinning, and the fan for my CPU hasn't gone crazy. So I guess it must have been a fluke in the last episode. Anyway, sorry. Zodiac Art Gallery. 18 years after Monsieur Master was arrested, I was finally able to buy back this mansion. Then, in order to maintain it, I decided to manage it as an art gallery. I collected Pierre Hoquet's works from all over the world. After all, it was my dream to open the Zodiac Art Gallery. It's wonderful that your dream has come true. What do you think, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I don't believe there was anything strange about her testimony. Judge Courtney, I believe in the courtroom it is standard to cross-examine the witness. Wouldn't you agree it's a little... Goddamn my stutter! It's a little too early to say that there are no contradictions. You speak like a defense attorney. Very well. Proceed as you please. Okay, so we're gonna go. I collected Pierre Hoquet's works from all over the world. And we press. Pierre Hoquet. That's Mr. Dover's alias, correct? Yes, it's the name he used when he worked as a sculptor in France. About collecting his works. How did you prepare the Taurus and Gemini sculptures? I heard that Mr. Dover passed away before he completed those two sculptures. I had the sculptures in the Winter Palace specially made, based on the photos I took. Oh? Could you tell us about that in more detail? After all, this is my dream to open the Zodiac Art Gallery. Is it after this? There we go. I prepared replicas of the sculptures in the Winter Palace based on the photos I took. With that... Liquid analysis. Where the hell is that? There it is. Objection! Did you really think that your excuses would continue to hold up? No matter how much you lie, you can't deny the composition of the sculptures. From the analysis results, it's quite clear that the sculptures in the Winter Palace are the sherbet sculptures Mr. Dover created. Oi, Miley! As a pharmacist, it's my turn to shine. What we call sugar actually comes in many different varieties and tastes. Even if the sculptures were replicas, it's nearly impossible to replicate the composition. I see. Thank you for the explanation. Though I don't recall asking for one. That, Miss Hall, means you couldn't have melted the sherbet sculptures back then. You stole them and preserved them for 18 years. That's some old sugar. Ah! What? She preserved the sherbet for 18 whole years? If you freeze it properly, it's not impossible. Silence, please. Miss Crater, what do you have to say? I can't believe you've already uncovered so much. So you're admitting that you stole the sherbet sculptures? No, I cannot admit to such a thing. There isn't any proof that I stole them after all. Also, I I couldn't have stolen the sculptures 18 years ago. I don't think they would have been easy to steal without the police not noticing. Huh, is that so? I don't know what you did 18 years ago. As such, how can I judge how difficult it would have been to steal them? Looks like you won't give up so easily. I don't intend on giving up until I learn the truth. I understand. Then I shall tell you what I did 18 years ago. What I did 18 years ago. On the day of the incident, I was waiting in the main building until the judging. During the judging, at Monsieur Master's request, I went to change the film in the camera. But before I could deliver the camera to him, I discovered Monsieur Dover's body. After Monsieur Gregory arrived, I prepared tea for everyone involved in the investigation. It was then that I witnessed Monsieur Gustavia entering Monsieur Dover's room. And that was everything I had done on that day. I don't think there is anything suspicious about my actions. That's not your decision to make. Mr. Edgeworth, were there any contradictions in her testimony? For now, I should just prove that she stole the sculptures. But when could Miss Hall have stolen them? If I can answer that, her crime should come to light. Okay, after Monsieur Gregory arrived, we've got to press at that, so... Press. Did you do so in the same manner as today? Yes, I poured tea for everyone working on the investigation. Now that you mention it, Uncle Ray also got some tea from you that day. Kate was pushing her service cart back and forth from the patio to the main building. I see. Did anything seem strange to you then? Well, I remember your old man singing praises of the Ceylon tea. And he also said something about how the saucer was chilled. The saucer was chilled? Oh. Could Miss Hall have stolen the sculptures then? She stole them then. It couldn't have been then. She stole them then. This was when you stole the sherbet sculptures. I'm sorry, but Monsieur Shields and company were at the fountain patio the entire time. Are you saying that I stole them in broad daylight? That's precisely what I'm saying. This is where she hid the sculptures to steal them right under their noses. Are you kidding me? Really? How? How do they fit under there? How big are these sculptures? Or small, rather. Neither my father nor Mr. Shields realised the sculpture was right in front of them. What you were pushing around was no ordinary service cart. It was a sculpture itself. Ah! But surely that would still be impossible. If she placed the sculptures on the service cart, people would notice immediately. I never said she used the service cart to move the sculptures. What? What do you mean? What does she use to move the sculptures around? This is what Miss Hall used to transport the sculptures. Where is it? In my... the lift trolley. Yeah. And this is... this is the lift trolley Mr. Dover used 18 years ago to move his sherbet sculptures. It seems this same lift trolley lies here in the fountain patio. That's because it was originally prepared for the contest in the first place. Are you saying she used a lift trolley to move the sculptures? Yes. If the sculptures were placed on this lift trolley and then covered with a tablecloth, it could be disguised as a service cart and moved without arousing suspicion. They're really not that big as I thought they were. How could that be? So the saucers were chilled because they were sitting on the ice sculptures? Kate, what's the meaning of this? What were you thinking? That was truly impressive. You certainly are Monsieur Gregory's son. At 18 years, it's hard to imagine any proof that I stole the sculptures remained. But I knew it was only a matter of time until I was suspected. Miss Curator, does this mean you admit to stealing the sculptures? Oh, yes, I admit it. I still thought you were going to say no. 18 years ago, I stole the sherbet sculptures from Monsieur Dover's room. It's just as Monsieur Edgeworth says, I disguised the lift trolley as a service cart, and I served tea as I made my way back and forth. Ah, you can kind of see it at the back there. I think it's the back handle thing does actually look different to the other carts, if I remember correctly. That wasn't all. I also took the ice block with all the star clusters on it. An ice block with star clusters on it. That seems familiar. Ah, yeah, the one that kid that I thought was Cody Atkins was in front of. Who could actually still be him, because the time difference is not what I thought it was. Anyway, moving on. A giant block of ice is being displayed here. It appears to be quite heavy. Oh, the inside must be hollow. Hollow, you say? The Winter Palace is a reproduction of Mr. Dover's room from 18 years ago. Because they had melted, my father never got the chance to see them. But those blocks of ice were also originally from Dover's sherbet salon. 2 sculptures and the 2 blocks of ice. I took everything I could. And then I placed empty glass cases in Monsieur Dover's room. The sculptures were all encased in glass to preserve their fine details, but the ice blocks were being displayed as they were. As per the rules, we prepared the glass cases for Mr. Dover. Oh, so it would have been easy for her to prepare the glass cases. In Monsieur Dover's room, there were some sculptures that were still unfinished. I thought if I melted them, it would look like the ones I stole her melted too. And it did. So everything you see in the Winter Palace are all original works from 18 years ago. Miss Hall. It didn't take much to get her to confess. Then she must know. She knows it isn't enough to try her in court. That is all I have to say. But, even though I admitted to stealing the sculptures, you can't arrest me for it. What? What do you mean by that? Heavens! Resisting an investigation without knowing this much? Perhaps you should read this book concerning the Statute of Limitations. Yes. Statute of Limitations? Statute of Limitations, data jotted down in my organizer. To put it simply, it's the time frame in which a suspect can be taken to court. You can see it on this page. Murder 15 years, theft 7 years. Ah, okay. The statute of limitations for murder is 15 years, and for theft it's 7 years. Ah! That's right. And Miss Hall's theft was 18 years ago. According to the statute, she cannot be arrested for stealing the sculptures. So that's how it is. Stealing evidence from a crime scene is an unforgivable offence. However, for this crime at least, we have no right to pass judgment. It appears that Prosecutor Edgeworth's tepid reasoning has all been for naught. Huh. I wonder about that. I deduced Miss Hall's actions simply to expose a different crime. If she only took the sculptures, we wouldn't have found the body from 18 years ago. Are you saying that I hid Monsieur Dover's body? That's correct. But how can someone hide a body for 18 years? I would imagine it would be very difficult under normal circumstances. So you're saying the circumstances weren't normal? Are you claiming that you know where the body was hidden? When you consider Miss Hall's actions, the answer becomes obvious. 18 years ago, Miss Hall stole something more than just sherbet sculptures. If you're so confident, I would like to hear your answer. Where did Miss Hall hide the body? I've got to present something here. Wait, what am I looking at? The Winter Palace photo present. Is it this one? Yeah, it was there. This is the photograph of Mr. Dover's sculptures. Oh god, what happened there? Yep, and perhaps you've noticed that the victim's body can be seen in this picture. I do not see it. Please point it out clearly. Where in this picture can one see the body of the victim? It's time to expose the location of the body in the photograph. What am I looking at here? Select the hooded figure in the left sculpture. that? Are you kidding me? The Gemini sculpture. Yep. Well, it may look like the Gemini sculpture at first glance. In reality, this is none other than Isaac Dover himself. I knew it. This ice sculpture was the victim's body? All I can see from this picture is an ice sculpture statue. That's because a certain piece of evidence was used to conceal it. Conceal it? Which piece of evidence did Miss Hall use to conceal the body? Oh god, what? Oh yeah. The fluorescent cloth. This is the cloth that was covering the sculptures in the Autumn Palace. This cloth manipulates light. With it, it's entirely possible to make something look like ice. Isn't that right, Delicia? You see? When it glows red, it's like a raging inferno. And when it glows blue, you can almost feel the glittering cool ice. That cloth will only emit light when it is attached to a special device. Judge Courtney, look closely at the picture one more time. Beneath the Gemini case lies a box-shaped object attached to the pedestal. Ah, I see. This is a rainbow light device. Detective Gumshoe reported one in the Winter Palace. This is the device that went missing 18 years ago. Originally, it would have been attached to the cloth inside the glass case. Naturally, Miss Hall took the device with her when she moved the sculptures. By using the rainbow light device to make the fluorescent cloth glow, Mr. Dover's body was made to look like an ice sculpture. That's ridiculous! So then, when Uncle Ray took a photo of the Winter Palace, that's right, the body had been in front of us all along, disguised as Gemini. However, the body and the fluorescent cloth were both discovered in the fountain. If the ice sculpture was the body, we would have found it in the Winter Palace. If we had found it there, her trick would have been revealed immediately. Miss Hall moved the body out of the Winter Palace to prevent us from discovering it. Absurd. You say she threw the body into the fountain without anyone else noticing? No, Judge Courtney. There was no need for that. She simply used the same method as before. Remember the lift trolley? Ah! She moved the body to some other room and dumped it into the stream to the fountain. Naturally, the frozen body would have sunk to the bottom of the fountain. That's why the cloth floated up first, and was found by Delicia. And eventually, the body thawed out and floated to the surface. Marshal Edgeworth, you truly have a gift for deductive reasoning. However, do you have any proof that I moved the body? If you cannot prove that, then there is no way I can accept what you are saying. Huh. Wasn't there anyone who saw Miss Hall move the body? Yes, I believe such a person exists. The answers lie in the evidence that person gave me. And that piece of evidence will reveal the truth of Miss Hall's actions. Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you able to prove the crime of Miss Creator? Certainly. I have evidence that will show exactly what she did. Then it's time we see your answer. Which piece of evidence reveals Miss Creator's actions? Wait. No. It's back here. Sketch your beauties, there it is.
Take that.
Another sketch. She looks really angry in that photo I just noticed. Oh, it appears I have been drawn in this one. This is a sketch Larry drew with a woman at the fountain patio. Women. Fountain patio. I would like to direct your attention to the service cart on the left side of the sketch. Service cart? What about it? Huh. Don't you see? What transpired 18 years ago has happened again. Miss Hall was moving the body in this sketch. No! Please wait. I don't see Monsieur Dover's body anywhere in that drawing. All I did was hand out chocolates to everyone. The key detail in this sketch is the colour of the tablecloth. Up until now, I thought Larry had just made a mistake. The tablecloth is light blue. It may be light blue in the sketch, but no blue tablecloths exist in this mansion. Perhaps it's light blue because the body was hidden, still glowing underneath the tablecloth. What? But the lift trolley is rectangular in the sketch. If she just placed the body in the lift trolley, we would notice it immediately. There were 2 blocks of ice in the Winter Palace that are completely hollowed out. If she put the body inside the block of ice, it would look like a service cart. That's... Miss Hall, you put the body in the block of ice and used the lift trolley to move it, didn't you? I never imagined you would be able to deduce so much from just a single sketch. But what if it was just a mistake, like you said before? It doesn't prove anything. I agree that, alone, the sketch is worthless. Once you remove the body, the service cart would revert back to a lift trolley. That's why the lift trolley was left behind in the fountain patio. And without the service carts, there would be no place for you to put your chocolates. The chocolates I gave everyone. Until then, the chocolates had sat on top of the service cart as you gave them away. But when you gave them to us, you took them from your pockets. Ah, now you mention it, they're a bit melted. But they were still really sweet and tasty. So why was it necessary to put them in your pocket halfway through? That's because once the body was disposed of, you no longer had a service cart. Ah! Hold it right there. If she put the chocolates in her pocket and left the lift trolley in the patio, then where did the tablecloth go? If she'd been forced to put the chocolates in her pocket, she wouldn't have had time to dispose of the tablecloth. Prosecutor Edgeworth, can you answer that for me? The tablecloth wasn't hidden. It's right in front of us. Do clarify. The tablecloth used to hide the body. Where is it now? It's inside the fountain, it's outside the patio. Miss Hall has it with her. Miss Hall has it with her? Isn't it obvious? Miss Hall is carrying it with her out in the open. Out in the open? Ah! You mean... Miss Hall. You are wearing the tablecloth around your waist. The block of ice was not encased in a glass case. In other words, the tablecloth was in direct contact with the block of ice. If we have it examined, we will undoubtedly find traces of sherbet on it. Miss Hall, you will turn your tablecloth over to the police at once. There's no need to examine the tablecloth. It is just as you say. I stole the poison from Madame Delicia, and I moved the body. A single tear. I have done terrible things. Madame Delicia, I am so sorry. 1 week ago, I took your Megatoxin X bottle. I slipped it into that man's pocket to make it look like suicide. And if they suspected it was murder, the evidence would point to Madame Delicia. Ah! Katie! Kate, what were you thinking? Why did we always trying to say Mr. Master together? I could not let myself be arrested. Not until I'd proven Monsieur Master's innocence. From the very beginning, I had planned to turn myself in once everything was over. But I suppose it is too late to say that now. Kate, why? Why would you go this far? Even for Monsieur Shields, I've caused nothing but trouble. For the past 18 years, I have been a criminal. The IS-7 incidents. Don't tell me that you were the true culprit. My greatest crime was stealing the sherbet sculptures for my own selfish interests. When Monsieur Dover died, they were no longer just ordinary sculptures. They had become the final works of the sculptor Monsieur Master so deeply loved. What if they melted before Monsieur Master returned? With that in mind, I couldn't let anyone touch them, not even the police. Even though I knew it was wrong, I moved them to the mansion's freezer. However, I only wanted to preserve Monsieur Dover's art. I did not know his body was hidden among them. So she stole the sculptures without noticing the body. Monsieur Master would never take... Monsieur Master would never take another person's life. Well, that was still Edgeworth talking then. But because of me, the body vanished and Monsieur Master was found guilty. kind man. You treated someone like me as family. You meant more to me than anyone else, and yet... Kate, when Monsieur Master was found guilty, I was chased out of this mansion. I was finally able to reclaim the mansion just a few days ago, but... when I saw the sculptures still sleeping away in the freezer, I realised that I was the one who hid Monsieur Dover's body. However, the statute of limitations had already expired. Therefore I could think of no other way to atone for my sins. It appears I have misunderstood her. It seems she caused this entire incident in order to save Mr. Master. What do you think about Miss Edgeworth? There is one thing that has been bothering me this whole time. Why would Miss Hall plan a murder with such an uncertain method like poison gas? And the reason she disguised the Autumn Palace to look like the Winter Palace was to make those involved in the incident 18 years ago confuse the two rooms. I wonder what Kate was trying to accomplish. She was trying to prove Mr. Master's innocence. In that case, Miss Hall's true objective was to turn herself in, to find the true culprit, to make us find the body. To find the true culprit. Perhaps she was trying to find the true culprit. Miss Hall, were you trying to prove Mr. Master's innocence? You wanted to reveal the true culprit and have the police find the body from 18 years ago. Was that not your true goal? By displaying those sculptures, you'd attract those involved in the past incident. Only two people would know where the body was hidden. You and the true culprit. The culprit would have panicked, knowing that the body would be displayed publicly. Yet, if the culprit really showed up, there's the risk they'd erase their tracks. In the worst case scenario, they might have even stolen the body. So how could she protect the evidence while simultaneously luring in the culprit? I see. That's why she made the Autumn Palace look like the Winter Palace. Yep. And then, Miss Hall, you must have thought, whoever opens the Pisces case, believing it to be the Gemini case, must be the true culprit of the IS-7 incident. What? But that means that person is the true culprit. Please wait a moment, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Do you realise what you're saying? Do you intend to accuse that person of being the culprit behind the IS-7 incident? Miss Hall was trying to trap the true culprit. If so, wouldn't the person who fell for the trap be the true culprit? However, I have no evidence to back up my claims. If I make a formal accusation without any proof, it will not end well. Shall I announce the true killer of Isaac Dover? Make an accusation! What I should do is reveal the truth. In that case, there is no need to hesitate. Yes, that's correct, Judge Courtney. I indict this person as the true culprit behind the IS-7 incident. Where is he? Dane Gustavia. Dane Gustavia, who fell victim to the poison gas, is the true culprit of the IS-7 incident? Gusty is... Mr. Gustavia. Miss Hall, didn't you believe that if you opened this gallery the true culprit would come? That's why you set up the poison gas trap, is it not? You truly have a gifted mind, just like your father. It is as you say, Monsieur Edgeworth. Now, would you please tell us the whole truth? Yes, I have nothing more to hide. I will tell you everything. I set a trap in the gallery to find the true culprit. Before the gallery opened, I left only the Autumn Palace unlocked. At opening time, when I went around to unlock each room, I discovered that the Autumn Palace had been locked from the inside. I knew that the true culprit was on the other side of the door. My hand was trembling. All that was left was for the trap to do its work. When I heard Monsieur Gustavia was exposed to the poison gas, I realised he was the culprit. And I thought that if the police discovered Monsieur Dover's body, it would prove Monsieur Master's innocence. Why didn't you ever come talk to me? There might have been another way. I know that you did everything you could for me over the past 18 years. However, all of this had been brought on by my own crime. That's why I wanted to save Monsieur Master as soon as possible. Kate. Not only that, the police hid the fact that the body went missing 18 years ago. Even if I reported the body, there was a chance that the truth would be hidden again. That's why I caused the incident at the museum's opening, with as many witnesses as possible. I'm sorry. Gregory, Mr. Master, and even you, I couldn't protect anyone. Mr. Shields, must be tough on him as well. The one who should be apologising is me. Monsieur Edgeworth, Monsieur Shields, I'm terribly sorry. I shall accept whatever punishment I am given. However, I must ask of you, please clear Monsieur Master's name. A single tear. The truth that was hidden for 18 years was revealed in an unexpected manner. However, to think that things would end this way. To be continued! That was a pretty short one. 36 minutes and 25 seconds. Yeah, that was a short one. I think it was shorter than I was expecting because, again, when I saw like someone who played this game on YouTube, they pressed everything in the testimonies, where I only press the stuff I need to press. Most of the time. Sometimes the guide can be a bit funny in the past, but what do you know. But next time will be the final episode of this very, very long case. And during it we have, I think, hang on, is it two testimonies? We have two testimonies and a pretty long logic chess, which I'm going to try and not mess up this time. So that's going to be fun. So that could probably take me up to about an hour, maybe over an hour, for the finale of the Inherited Turnabout. So we'll do that next time and see how it goes. So thanks for watching. I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.